Hello everyone. Now in this video we will study about the ecology, under which we will learn the chapter, that is chapter number 13, regarding the organism and population. So as you know, diversity is not only the characteristic of the living organisms but also it contains the biological functioning between the abiotic and biotic component all together in a coordinated way. So biology, which is presented either in the form of botany, zoology or microbiology, in whatever be the form, the interrelationship among the different organisms with respect to the, you can say, the non-living matter, it ultimately help us to learn how beautiful our biosphere is, and this interrelationship is basically we are going to study in the with respect to the term ecology. So ecology is one such thread which gives us a holistic perspective to the biology. The essence of biological understanding is to know how organisms, while remaining an individual, interact with the other organisms and physical habitats as a group, and hence they behave like a organized wholes. That is, either it could be a population, community, ecosystem, or even as a whole biosphere. So ecology actually explain to us all this, and a particular aspect of this is the study of the anthropogenic environmental degradation and the socio-physiological, or you can say socio-political issues it has raised. So this unit basically describes as well as takes a critical view of the above aspects. So this chapter is basically the organism and its environment. Now we'll study, or we'll try to learn, what is the ecology. So ecology is the study of the relationship between living organisms, including humans, and their physical environment. It seeks to understand the vital connections between plants and animals and the world around them. So what are the basic, you can say, the elements to study the ecology? So for this we have a question: what are the four types of ecology? So the main levels of study in ecology, it includes organism, population, community and ecosystem. And how do these organisms interact in the environment? In all these environments, organisms interact and use the available resources such as food, space, light, heat, water, air and shelter. And each population of organisms and the individuals within it, so they interact in a specific way that are limited by and can benefit from other organisms. So in this particular chapter, ecology is basically concerned with the four levels of biological organization, that is organism, population, community and ecosystem. So let's study about the organism and its environment. So ecology at the organ level, you can say, or at the organization of the different hierarchies of the organisms, it's essentially the physiological activity or the physiological ecology, which tries to understand how different organisms are adapted to their environments in terms of not only survival but also for the reproductive purposes. So as you can say, in our earth there are variations over the different ranges of the surfaces, and if we are going to somehow understand this, that the rotation of our planet around sun and the tilt of its axis, it causes annual variations in the intensity and duration of temperature, resulting in distinct seasons. These variation together with the annual variation, it will leads to the different type of precipitation rates over the entire surface of the earth. Now it can have different biomes such as desert, rainforest and tundra. So we'll see the different biomes which are basically the distinct biological communities that have formed in response to a shared physical climate. So let's see what is the definition for a biome. So biome is a broader term than habitat. Any biome can comprise the variety of habitats. While a biome can cover large areas, a microbiome is a mixture of organisms that coexist in a definite or a defined space on a much smaller scale. So you can see the figure given in your textbook, that is figure 13.1, in which the biome distribution with respect to annual temperature and precipitation is being shown, which classifies the different types of biomes over the wide range of the earth. So as you can see here, the desert, which shows the mean annual temperature, which ranges from 5 degrees centigrade to approximately you can say 25 degrees centigrade, and the mean annual precipitation in centimeter is below 50 centimeters in case of desert areas. Now adjoining to this desert areas, we have the grasslands. Here you can see the mean annual temperature range, which is in degrees centigrade, which ranges from 0 degrees centigrade to 25 degrees centigrade, and the mean annual precipitation rate for the grasslands is from 50 centimeter to approximately 100 centimeters. Likewise, you have the overlapped or interjoining different biomes for the coniferous forest, temperate forest. Then you have Arctic and alpine tundra, where you can see the differences in the annual temperature and the mean annual precipitation. Likewise, you have the tropical forest, where the annual precipitation range, it varies very much. That is from you can say approximately 120 centimeter to 420 centimeters, and the temperature, it almost remains constant. It lies in the range of 20 to 25 degrees centigrade. So this is how some of the important, or you can say 6 type of biomes, they have been classified with respect to the information given in your book. Likewise, when we see the different scientists which have worked to classify the different biomes of the earth, so in this connection we have this is the additional information, it is not given in your book, so you can use it for your reference purpose. So Holdridge, which have published the life zones, it includes the 3-dimensional perspectives with respect to the latitudinal region. You can see the potential evaporation ratio. Then they have taken the humidity ranges and annual precipitation rates in millimeters. So Holdridge life zone classification scheme, you can see here, although conceived as a 3-dimensional by its originator, it is usually shown as 2-dimensional array of hexagons in a triangular frame. So this is also the type of classification with respect to the biome. Now Whitaker biome types can be classified with respect to the annual precipitation and annual temperature range, and you can have different biomes here. See, you can see tundra, boreal forest and subtropical desert along the temperature range, and different types of vegetation which is being remarked by the presence of different animals and plants. So these are some of the important classifications based on the different views of the different scientists. So India is the home to many biomes that support different aspects of life, and there are total of 6 different biomes which is given in your book. With respect to that, we can classify the savanna, desert, scrub, alpine, rainforest and marine, and all of these biomes hold different plants, animals, climate and life. So you can see the distribution of these biomes on the geographical map of the India. You can also visit the atlas or different geographical informations given over the sites for further clarification. So this is basically the information which carries what are the different regional and local variations within each biome, which leads to the formation of a wide variety of habitats. And major biomes of India we have already discussed. And on planet Earth, life exists not just in few favorable habitats but even in extreme and harsh habitats, which includes the scorching Rajasthan desert, rain-soaked Meghalaya forest, deep ocean trenches, torrential streams, permafrost, that is snow-laden polar regions, high mountain tops, thermal springs, and stinking compost pits. These are some of the extreme examples. Even our intestine is a unique habitat of hundreds of species of microbes. So um, basically this is just to inform you that each organism has an invariably defined range of conditions that it can tolerate, diversity in the resources it utilizes, and a distinct functional role in the ecological system. All these together they comprise a niche. So let's see what is the definition for the ecological niche. So in ecology, a niche is the match of a species to a specific environmental condition. It describes how an organism or population responds to the distribution of resources and competitors, and how it in turn alters those same factors. So an example has been shown to you with respect to the warbler, and the dimension which is being taken here is the foraging height, and the ecological niche or the area which these birds they are inhabiting in a you can say tree or forest community. So you can see the black Buryan warbler, bay-breasted warbler, Cape May warbler, black-throated green warbler, and myrtle warbler, which is showing the different ecological niche over the forest, or you can say the uh, tree on a single tree. So this was all about the organism and its environment, and how the different biomes and ecological niches they are acting as a major role in defining the uh, characteristics and and physiological activities of the different organisms. Thank you.